Okay, pandemic time, things are a bit crazy, but I've got a whiskey for you and I've got some apologies too, basically. Let's do this. Hi, welcome to Whisky Riffs. I'm Kevin, and today we're going to do a review of Deanston Highland Scotch whiskey right after an apology or two. My first apology is that I'm going to review a whiskey that you probably won't be able to get, but I think it's worthwhile because the brand is worthwhile. And my second apology is apparently I've been giving out misinformation about the requirements for Scotch whiskey. I said that it was an ex-bourbon cask requirement for Scotch whiskey. And then I thought in my head, oh, no, it's just a used bourbon cask. That's the requirement. And then I got some comments, and one was very polite from Phil at Whiskey Mystery. And I'll put a link in the comments below to his channel. And he politely corrected me and said, no, it's really not a requirement. There are virgin oak Scotch whiskeys. And apparently, I've had this wrong in my head for years and didn't realize it. So when I read that, it was a moment. So now that we've got that cleared up, I think that the reason I may be thinking that there's a requirement for used oak is because I'm confusing the Scotch frugality to use used casks that are much more affordable than creating new casks from virgin oak. And, if you can get the bourbon cask cheap, that seems like a good way to start whiskey out, and that's what they've been doing. It's not any requirement. Oh well. So I apologize if anyone was misled by that. It's corrected in my head now. I will not misstate that again. Now this isn't a virgin oak cask, but Deanston does make a virgin oak cask expression, and I read a review of it, watched a review of it actually, and it was an okay review. So I don't know if I'm jumping to get that. I'm happy to do bourbon virgin oak cask until I find a Scotch that really is compelling to drive me to the virgin oak. What I'm reviewing today is Deanston's 2008 9-year-old Bordeaux cask whiskey. This is a Highland Scotch whiskey that was cask matured in Bordeaux red wine casks, and that is going to give it a predominant flavor profile. I knew very little about Deanston until I saw some reviewers bragging on this distillery, and one of them was Ray at Aquavita, which I'll give a link to in the comments also. He did he calls them recycle reviews, where he goes through all his empty bottles, and as he's recycling them, gives them ratings and puts them in the recycle bin. And two of those he rated were Deanston. One was the virgin oak, and one was a different casking, not the Bordeaux, but a different wine casking. I believe it was, I can't remember. It was a wine casking, and that got me interested in, okay, what's Deanston and why is he in love with it so much? Then the next time I looked at K&L Wine's site and I saw, oh look, they have a Deanston and it's got a wine casking. great, I will give this a try. So I did, and I did, and I did, and it's really good. I enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy learning more about it. Now, Deanston Distillery isn't that old. It was started in 1966. Prior to that, it was actually a cotton mill for 100 years or more. And this is located, the distillery is located north of Glasgow in Scotland. It is, some have described it as more of a lowland flavor, but I can't tell that difference. To me, because of the caskings they're in, I think it's a Highland whiskey with whatever added flavors that you get from the casks. They were doing the same as most other distilleries, and during the 70s, around that late 70s or so, they had some financial troubles. So you didn't see much come out of any of the distilleries until, again, in the 90s, and I believe they opened up in 1991 and started producing some really nice variations on your typical Highland Scotches. They've got several different special editions like this one on their website, and I think it's worthwhile checking out to find out, if there's something that looks interesting to you that that may be a flavor profile you're used to in a wine or a sherry or something else that they've used to mature their whiskey. The Deanston I'm reviewing today is a Highland Scotch whiskey that's from 2008. It was aged for 9 years in the Bordeaux red wine casks, and it's bottled at 58.7% alcohol by volume or 117.4 proof. It is not chill filtered, which is good, and this is cask strength. Let's dig into the tasting. On the nose, you're going to get that wine finish right away. Definitely sweetness there, some honey, I get grapes, and it's very light. It's not like some of the sherry finishes where you feel like there's the dark, deep fruits. This is more of apples, maybe a little citrus, very slight citrus nose. You can tell it's got a little bit of bite from the cask strength, so that you get a burn first. But you can also taste that Bordeaux wine. Gives it the sweetness. I think a little bit of dark chocolate flavor there from the wood. Some cherries, some dark cherries. The finish is very long, spicy, kind of a little ginger flavor to that, and very fruity. Might be some caramel or butterscotch on the taste and the finish. There's a lot of flavors in this. Because it wasn't just finished in the red wine casks, it was matured completely in those. Get a lot of influence from that. Let's put some water in it, see what we get out of that. Now, at cask strength, definitely going to want to put more than just 1 milliliter in here. I'll put a couple. Give this thing some dilution, see how much we can get out of it. Whenever you add water, you should give it time to rest for a second. Swirl it around. Ooh, nice sweet. Very bright grape notes on the nose now. Very fruity, very light. Much sweeter. Takes the edge off. That burn was a little harsh and may not be what you're looking for in a Highland Scotch, but the water really tamed that down. Definitely getting more grape and cherry, more caramel. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. I don't usually go too heavy, but I think that this definitely can take a good bit of water, and it's performing really nicely. I think there's a lot of oils in here that are allowing it to release more of the flavors than just cover them up. Oh, it gets brighter. It's a really nice light fruity scent as you add water. It's like I'm putting my face in a basket of fresh grapes. Oh, that smooths right out. That is very nice with water. I would definitely recommend throwing some water in this and see what you think. Oh, sorry. You probably won't be able to get this one. But if you get one of the Deanston cask drinks and it has a casking that gives you a little bit of sweetness or a little bit of fruity flavor, go ahead and add water and see what it does for you. It's definitely given me a lot of good feedback with the water added. Now, I bought this back in 2019, I think it was around April, and I paid $65 for it at the time. I think it was a good purchase. I would definitely, if I had a chance to get this expression again, I would definitely do it. I'm going to look for a few more of the Deanston expressions and try those. I definitely think they make a great whiskey, and their creativeness in the way they're using their casks only amplifies what you get out of their core whiskey flavors. I want to thank the people that have added comments. If you have feedback for me, if you have things that you want to talk about, please add them to the comments. If you're enjoying my videos, please give me a like, click subscribe, and bang that bell so you get notified when I have new episodes. And during this time, when we're still in this pandemic, when we're sheltered at home, please be safe. Be kind to others, reach out to a friend, and let them know that you're thinking about them. Digitally, there's so many ways to connect to somebody online. It's pretty nice that we have that availability. So go ahead and reach out to someone. I'm definitely going to raise this glass to all the friends and family that have reached out to me and keep my spirits up, keep me feeling positive about where we are and that we have a future, that we are moving towards a time when we all can get back together. And I will definitely look forward to that so that I can raise a glass in person with a lot of my friends. Cheers.